In April 2020, a YouTuber named Noah decided to embark on an adventure. He was not a famous creator, just a regular guy with a love for the outdoors, trying his hand at recording his experiences. His plan was straightforward: take his truck to a quiet, forested area in Sun River, Oregon, and camp out for a night.
So I was originally not gonna make this video just because I don't really have my setup or anything yet. But a few days ago, I was camping in Sun River and
he thought it would be the perfect spot for a relaxing getaway, and perhaps the beginning of a new hobby, sharing the beauty of nature with the world. It was a place of peace, or so he thought. The evening started off calmly. Noah set up his truck at the side of a remote road, surrounded by towering trees that whispered in the cool night breeze. What was meant to be a peaceful getaway soon turned into a nightmare Noah would never forget. As the night came, the forest became quiet, the kind of silence that makes every small sound feel amplified. It was then that Noah began to feel something was off. He was alone, or at least he believed he was. Suddenly, the unmistakable noise of someone trying to open his truck's door handle, as if testing whether he was awake or asleep. The door rattled softly, as if whoever or whatever was out there was trying to get inside. Someone or something was out there watching him. Noah's breath caught in his throat, so he reached for his GoPro, initially intending to record the terror of the forest at night, thinking it might make for interesting content.
I'm currently sleeping in the back of my truck right now. I don't even know what time it is, and there's someone walking around my truck right now. If you can hear that, it's pretty loud. He's been walking around for like 20 minutes already. My gun's in my cab though. I don't really know what to do. I'm a little freaked out right now, and it's like pitch black outside, probably like 2 in the morning, and he just is walking around, and he's like really close to my truck. I've never been this scared, and like this doesn't make any sense because I parked somewhere where you couldn't see. No one was on that road.
He was frozen in place, too scared to make a sound, praying that the locked doors would hold. Every instinct screamed at him to flee, but his truck was his only refuge. He was trapped, vulnerable, with nowhere to run. For what felt like hours, the terrifying sounds continued, footsteps circling his truck, the quiet but persistent attempts to open the doors. Minutes passed in a torturous, sleepless vigil before the noises stopped. He knew he had captured something on his camera, something he could not explain, and it haunted him.
he was trying to peek in my truck quite a bit with all these marks. I didn't even notice until I got home. Handprints there, a lot of scratches, stuff like that. Dragging his finger on my side of my truck. Well, looks like to be trying to get inside my truck. That's really all I could tell from when he was walking around. That's new. Don't know how that got there. More handprints trying to get in my truck. At least the back canopy was locked, but yeah, that was the result. So that was probably the scariest camping experience I've probably ever had in my entire life. So yeah, well, I'll keep you guys updated and let you know. Thanks.
Noah never returned to Sun River. Days later, the mystery of what or who was out there remains unsolved. But even though his experience sounds terrifying, this next camper experienced the worst stealth camping anyone could wish for: Will's whereabout. Will is a well-known online content creator and internet personality from England with a channel called Will's Whereabout, where he has been uploading his daily travel and lifestyle blogs. He has been making videos about wild camping, truck camping, and solo stealth car camping on different adventures for almost a decade. So far, he has amassed over 33 million views on YouTube, with a loyal following of 290K subscribers. But what happened on a fateful day made his channel blow up with millions of views. It was supposed to be just another stealth car camping video, another thrilling entry in his YouTube library of scares. This time, he was searching for a secluded spot to park his car and camp out for the night.
I'll cut these onions up, boy. What's that, chef? Order up!
Is this a pepper pot?
The only thing is, you've got this. I don't really like this smoky barbecue one.
But what Will encountered that night was far beyond what any of his viewers or even he had anticipated. The location he chose was isolated, deep in the backcountry where the nearest sign of civilization was miles away. The sun had long set, leaving only the dim glow of his camera's night vision to pierce the surrounding darkness. Will set up his car for the night, the familiarity of the routine bringing a false sense of comfort. But as the hours ticked by and the night grew colder, something happened. It started with a low sound, almost blending into the background noise of the forest. Will, ever vigilant, paused his filming, straining to catch the source of the sound. The hum grew louder, more distinct, like a deep, resonating vibration coming from the earth itself. Then the noises began. At first they were distant, sharp, unnatural cracks echoing through the trees, like something heavy snapping branches far off in the darkness. Will's heart began to race, the thrill of the unknown clashing with a growing sense of dread. The sounds drew closer, changing into something more strange. There was a rustling, an odd, shuffling noise, as if something was dragging itself through the underbrush. Will turned his camera towards the darkness outside his car, the night vision struggling to capture anything beyond the shadows. But the noises grew louder, and something else, something that sounded disturbingly like a low growl.
I don't think I'm going to be getting much sleep tonight. There are people about 100 meters away, blazing music out. At least some good songs anyway. And some people screaming.
After the sound stopped, Will decided to upload his experience on YouTube. That night, somewhere in the darkness, he realized that sometimes the scariest stories are the ones that come true.
Let's have a look what the outside world looks like. Nobody in the car park. The sun is just starting to come up, which I'll show you in a second. I'll get the drone up and I'll show you exactly where I stayed. This was the spot last night. You can hear the birds actually. A really good night's sleep, you know, considering for the first half an hour, 45 minutes.
But what about the next YouTuber who vowed never to camp in South Carolina anymore? In the suburbs of South Carolina, deep within the comforts of small-town America, YouTuber Allison, known to her thousands of subscribers as the face behind the channel Travel Snacks, embarked on what she thought would be another peaceful truck camping adventure. Her channel was filled with exploration and simplicity, showcasing the joys of life on the road, complete with the best travel tips, cozy campsites, and of course her favorite snacks. It all started with a simple search. Allison, always cautious, browsed Google Maps for the safest city in the surrounding area.
Near that city, and so I just put my Google Maps to that Walmart. So that's just a little X marks the spot so that I could just get to the place and then I could do a little more research when I'm there. So it's 2 hours and 25 minutes. I already filled up my gas and the gas was like $2.85 here in Myrtle Beach. So we're on the way. So let me stop talking and get it popping.
She found a promising destination, a suburb just 2 hours and 25 minutes from her current location. It was quiet, a perfect spot for a relaxing night of truck camping, or so she thought. With her route planned and her truck packed, she hit the road, filming her journey as she always did, sharing the experience with her loyal followers. Allison felt a sense of calm as she pulled into her chosen spot, a peaceful area where the houses were spaced far apart and the air was still.
It is my lucky day. Oh, they got security out here and everything. Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. Well, definitely can't park here because they got security just out here guarding that thing. Dang. I don't know if it's security for the wiener or security for the hotel. But either way.
She set up her camera, capturing the evening light as she prepared her meal, chatting with her viewers about the day's events and the snacks she had brought along for the night. But as the clock ticked closer to 9 p.m., Allison began to feel a growing sense of unease. The quietness of the suburb now felt oppressive. Deciding not to risk any unwanted attention by camping in the residential area overnight, she made the decision to move her truck to a nearby hotel parking lot. It seemed like the safest option, a well-lit area with the comfort of knowing people were nearby. Allison settled into her truck, the familiar routine of preparing for a night on the road bringing a small sense of comfort. She recorded a final segment for her video, talking about her plans for the next day before settling down to sleep.
Tired. I usually stay up for a few minutes and just kind of listen to my surroundings and kind of peek out the windows, coverings like I just did. One or two more times just to like make sure that there's no one walking around or security rolling up on me or whatever, and then I go to sleep. Everything's locked up and I'm ready for bed, but that's what I'll be doing for at least 1 or 2, 5 more minutes.
But just as she was beginning to relax, the quiet night was disturbed by a sudden noise. Someone was knocking on her truck, hard, insistent, almost frantic. The knocking continued, louder now, accompanied by the unmistakable sound of someone trying to open her door. The handle rattled as the stranger outside tried to force their way in. Panic set in. Allison's heart raced as she quickly weighed her options.
Just a second. Hi.
Hey, you have a room?
I just pulled over just to go to the bathroom back here. I'm leaving.
Okay.
She had no idea who was outside, what they wanted, or how dangerous they might be. But she knew one thing. She had to get out of there, fast. Without hesitating, she turned the key in the ignition. The knocking paused for a brief moment, as if the person outside was startled by the sudden movement. But Allison didn't wait to find out what they would do next. She threw the truck into gear and sped out of the parking lot, her hands gripping the wheel tightly as she drove away, leaving the hotel and whatever danger lurked there far behind. She didn't stop until she was miles away, the lights of the hotel long out of sight. Only then did she allow herself to breathe, pulling into a brightly lit gas station to collect her thoughts. Allison filmed a final update, her voice shaky but determined, sharing the terrifying experience with her viewers.
Like 2 dudes in that car, in that regular car. So I thought it was just like people staying at the hotel. But that's interesting that they have security officers in their uniform, but in regular cars.
While Allison was unsure of what just happened, the next YouTuber almost got swallowed by fear after making a trip during Halloween. In the roads of the UK countryside, one YouTuber dared to explore the boundary between the living and the dead. Known to his followers as Ads Ventures, He had built a reputation for pushing the limits, venturing into the dark and the unknown with a mix of curiosity. But on one cold Halloween night, what began as a light-hearted ghost hunt in his micro-stealth camper van quickly spiraled into a terrifying ordeal that would haunt him forever. Ads had planned the night, combining his love for van life with the thrill of the supernatural. He chose a location, an old haunted woodland nestled near an ancient cemetery.
Cannot see a thing with this light shining in the eyes. So this is coming into the woods now, and on the left is the little church house, and behind that is the cemetery. How old are some of these then? 1908. Oh, wait a sec. There's 3 people in this grave. Look at the size of that.
As the night came closer, Ads parked his van at the entrance of the woods surrounding the cemetery. The atmosphere was perfect for what he had in mind. He started by gisting with his fans, sharing scary tales as he walked through the darkened woods. The old graves, some so ancient their inscriptions had long since worn away, stood like silent watchers as Ads wandered through them. He could feel the weight of the history around him, the sense of being somewhere he didn't truly belong. And yet, he continued, pushing further into the woods, drawn by a mix of fear and fascination. But then, in the distance, something caught his eye, a dark figure moving between the trees. At first, he thought it was a trick of the light, a figment of his imagination fueled by the stories he had been telling. But as he stared, the figure became clearer, standing unnaturally still, as if waiting for him.
Might. I've had a large cup of Baileys before I had that hot chocolate, which means I can't drive anywhere, so whether I like it or not, this has to be home for the night.
Every day, all kinds of...
There was something wrong, something deeply unsettling about the way it stood there, just out of reach, almost as if it was watching him. Then, without warning, the figure made an almost imperceptible movement, but enough to snap Ads out of his trance. Panic surged through him, and he did the only thing his body would allow. He ran. He sprinted through the woods, and his breath came in ragged gasps as he finally reached the van, throwing himself inside and slamming the door shut. Only then did he realize that in his terror, he hadn't managed to capture the figure on camera. The darkness had been too thick, the moment too terrifying. What's more scary is the fact that he was the only one in the woods at that time.
It's been an interesting one. I've enjoyed myself for about 90% of it. What the hell is that? My handbrake wasn't off properly. But right now I'm going to go home, I'm going to check out the footage on the laptop and hopefully find out that I was just imagining things last night. And then I'm going to edit the video and prepare for a new road trip this week. So stay tuned if you want to find out where I'm going.
While this encounter was creepy, what the next camper found was something out of this world. In the woods of rural America, 2 YouTubers, CJ Faison and Chris Baird, embarked on an investigation that would push them to the very edges of fear. Known for their fearless exploration of the paranormal, CJ and Chris had faced many terrifying situations before, but nothing could prepare them for what awaited them at the burnt bridge on that scary Halloween night.
Hey man, last time we were here it was snowing, and now if you look out here, it's no snow. Thanks.
No snow. Thank God. No snow ever again.
I just feel like this road could be a little bit more like friendly if they would just widen it. It's literally, for everybody looking, it's...
The burnt bridge had long been a place of dark legend. 50 years ago, it had been a simple wooden bridge, a quiet passageway over a small, forgotten creek. But it became the site of dark rituals, where people whispered incantations to forces unknown. The rituals became scary until one night. The bridge itself caught fire, consumed by flames that some said were summoned from the very depths of hell. The bridge was never rebuilt, leaving only charred remains and stories of a portal that had opened in its place, a gateway to something beyond our world.
I want to let everybody know and preface something here, that the bridge behind me, it burnt down. It used to be a wooden bridge, and it basically burnt down because so many rituals were done here. And it said that a portal has opened up in the area, and that's why it's so haunted, and that's why all this crazy stuff happens. The house burnt down a couple of years ago that we used to go into. And then not to mention the bridge was burnt down like 50 or 60 years ago. So when you start thinking about the name Burnt Bridge and then there's a burnt house, it just, the whole effect is really, really creepy. And
it was here, under the glow of a full moon, that CJ and Chris decided to spend Halloween night. They arrived in their truck as they parked near the remains of the bridge. With cameras rolling, they set off on foot, leaving the safety of their truck behind as they toured deeper into the woods. And then they saw it, a strange, abandoned, weird building, hidden deep within the trees. It was old, its wooden walls rotting and weathered, but it stood defiant against the encroaching forest. The building had no place here, in the middle of nowhere. As they came closer, something moved in the shadows. A figure appeared in the doorway of the building. It was too dark to make out any details, but the figure stood motionless, watching them. Without a word, CJ and Chris turned and ran back to the truck. The camera, still recording, bounced wildly in Chris's hand, capturing only fleeting glimpses of the darkened forest as they fled. Eventually, they reached the truck, slamming the doors behind them and locking out whatever horrors might have followed. But the night was far from over.
Oh! Fuck me!
What was that?
Okay. In the van. In the fucking van. In the van.
Oh! Are you okay? Are you alright? Dude, get up, get up. Are you okay?
Yeah.
What did you see or what did you hear? What happened? Lock that shit.
I did.
What just happened? I couldn't even see you. I literally cannot see you.
I went and stood on the bridge. I swear on my life, Chris, I held my hands like this. I said, if there's anything good or evil here, I want to invite you to come here.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
They sat in the truck as they found it difficult to fall asleep. Now the camera, left rolling in the corner, recorded the silence inside the truck as they fell off. But just as they began to slip into a restless sleep, a violent hit shook the vehicle as if something massive had struck it from the outside. The truck rocked from side to side, the sound like an earthquake hitting both sides at once. CJ and Chris suddenly woke up as they tried to make sense of what was happening. And then, as suddenly as it had started, it stopped.
Oh, yo, wake up, dude. What the fuck is that? Was that an earthquake?
What was that?
The van was just swaying side to side, dude.
Let's go out there and fucking look for it.
Fuck that, dude. I'm not going out there. Fuck that. It's
no, come on, seriously.
No, I'm not going out there, dude.
Is the van still rocking?
Feel it.
What the fuck is that?
There's no way it's that windy right now. Dude, that's not a good idea, bro.
The silence that followed was more terrifying than the noise. CJ and Chris exchanged looks of pure fear, neither willing to be the first to open the door, but they had to know what had just happened. Slowly, cautiously, they stepped out into the night, but there was nothing. No sign of what had struck their truck. No movement. No sound. While this may sound as the scariest story so far, what can be more terrifying than an RV YouTuber experiencing the scariest moment of his life? One morning, an RV YouTuber decided to embark on a journey that would test the limits of his courage. Known to his thousands of subscribers for capturing some of the most breathtaking and picturesque areas in the country, he had chosen this spot for its wild beauty and the promise of solitude. The journey to Mogollon Rim had been a long one, the roads and rugged terrain challenging even for a best traveler like him.
Or two before it's dark. But I think I'm just gonna lay down, watch a little TV, and then wait for it to cool down some. It's just hot. Yeah, I'm gonna make some dinner. I know this is like the worst stuff in the world. Well, maybe not really, but I'm sure it's not 100% healthy for you, but I actually kind of like it. And it sounded pretty good, so I'm gonna make it.
By the time he reached his chosen campsite, the sun was already sinking behind the mountains, casting long shadows over the dense forest. As the night fell, he set up his camera, eager to share this location with his viewers. The video was meant to be another peaceful episode, showcasing the beauty of the wilderness as he prepared dinner in the cozy confines of his camper. The clock ticked past 8 p.m. as he started cooking. He spoke to his audience, describing the day's journey and the serenity of the campsite. Suddenly, a loud, unexpected thud came from outside the camper, shaking the walls. The sound had come from outside, a sudden, forceful impact that set his nerves on edge. He froze, listening intently, his heart pounding as he tried to make sense of what had just happened. Had it been a tree branch, an animal, or something else? The possibilities ran through his mind, each one more unsettling than the last. He stood in silence, the only sound now the faint hiss of the stove. But then he heard it again. Footsteps, slow and deliberate, crunching through the underbrush. They were coming closer, circling the camper with an unnerving precision. The world outside was now an abyss, the only illumination the narrow beam of his torchlight as he strained to see through the small windows. The footsteps continued, now on the opposite side of the camper, as if whoever or whatever was out there was toying with him. The silence between each step was suffocating, the kind that tightens around your chest and makes every breath feel like a struggle. He didn't dare move, didn't dare speak, as the footsteps finally faded into the distance. Minutes stretched into hours, each second marked by the thudding of his own heartbeat. The camera, still recording, captured every agonizing moment, every flicker of fear in his eyes as he waited for the dawn to break. But as he glanced around, something caught his eye. A chair that had been placed neatly beside his small table had been moved. It now sat several feet away, as if someone or something had deliberately shifted it during the night. Determined to find answers, he decided to explore the area further. He headed north from his campsite, his senses heightened by the lingering fear from the night before. After walking for half a mile, he stumbled upon a tent and a truck, nestled in a small clearing. The sight was jarring. He hadn't seen or heard anyone else during his time in the woods. Yet here was another camper, a lone figure who stood by the truck, staring off into the distance as if lost in thought. The man seemed ordinary enough, but the timing of his presence was too coincidental, too unsettling. Had he been the one outside the camper last night? Had he moved the chair, made those footsteps? The questions buzzed in his mind, but he found himself unable to approach the stranger, a deep-seated instinct telling him to stay away. He returned to his campsite, his thoughts a whirl of fear and confusion. The footage from the night before would soon be uploaded to his channel, a chilling testament to the unexplained events that had unfolded in the heart of the Mogollon Rim. His subscribers would see the fear in his eyes, hear the tension in his voice, and share in the terror of that night. But what this next YouTuber experienced is borderline shocking. In the middle of the American wilderness, where lonely roads stretch out, one YouTuber named Adam found himself on a journey gone wrong. Adam had spent hundreds of nights alone in his van, exploring remote places and sharing his experiences with his loyal viewers. But this time, on a cold, rain-soaked night, far from the safety of civilization, Adam would encounter something that would turn his familiar routine into a night of unrelenting terror. The rain had started as a light drizzle as Adam drove deeper into the unknown. His phone signal had vanished miles back, leaving him isolated in a world where the only connection to the outside was the reassuring sound of his engine.
He's got a phone signal. Oh, thinking about it. Oh, we're in there like swimwear. Nice, we've got a phone signal there then. And to be fair, not a bad view. And a little lake.
Despite the growing sense of unease, Adam pressed on, determined to find a place to settle for the night. He parked his van and set up his camera as he joked about the scary isolation.
And I just don't want to risk scratching that surface. Come on, you can do it, you can do it. Man, it actually looks a bit baked. And I think I'm going to fill the belly with it and watch a bit of football. And I'll catch you guys in a bit. Whoa, past the bacon in the ridge.
As the hours passed, exhaustion began to set in as Adam settled into his makeshift bed in the back of the van. But as midnight approached, something shattered the fragile peace of that rainy night. It started with a noise and footsteps as Adam's eyes snapped open. The footsteps grew louder, closer, until they were just outside his van.
Fingers crossed I don't get a ticket. Not going to get any bother because that van's here, I would have thought, but yeah, hopefully I'll see you with no bother in the morning. Nightmare. What the fucking hell's going on? Someone's just pulled up, man, and they're popping around like a madman. What the fuck? Right, this is well dodgy. Someone's just pulled up right next to me, popping around like a madman. That van's over the way. Don't know what to do, to be honest. Oh man, I'll keep the light low, but damn, that's made me stop shaking a little bit. They're still sat there as well. I don't know what to do. Ah man, it's 10 o'clock at night.
The lens captured the darkness inside the van, the low, terrified whisper of Adam's voice as he tried to make sense of what was happening. The rain seemed to grow quieter, almost as if it was holding its breath, amplifying the sound of whatever was outside. The door handle rattled, the van rocking slightly as if someone was testing its strength, trying to find a way in. Adam didn't dare move. Minutes passed until he finally found the courage to sit up and peer through the fogged-up window. Whatever had been there was gone now, but the fear was still holding him back. Realizing he couldn't stay there any longer, Adam made the decision to move. He started the van and drove back onto the lonely road. He drove for miles until he found a more secure location, the lights of a small town in the distance offering a semblance of safety. As he uploaded the footage the next day, titled, "I was rolled up on by nutters, scary car camping trip," Adam knew that this experience would stay with him long after the rain had stopped and the night had passed. For Adam, the road would always call him back, the promise of adventure and the beauty of the unknown, too strong to resist. But that night, on the lonely road, under the relentless rain, he had encountered something that even the most experienced traveler could never truly prepare for.